Hello and welcome to the Audrain Automobile Museum here in Newport, Rhode Island. The Audrain Automobile Museum is a 501c3, not-for-profit, set up to execute a very special mission: to preserve, celebrate, and share automotive history. And to help us do that is a great friend of mine and an even greater friend of the Audrain, Mr. Jay Leno.
Well, thank you. And being a nonprofit, if you're a car guy, you know, that's really nonprofit. You know, my feeling is if you're storing a car correctly, you're not going to make any profit because you're going to have more love and effort into it than you could possibly charge for. I mean, that's why restoring cars is so expensive. That's why you can get cars sometimes for 50 cents, 10 cents on the dollar, because someone else has put all the love and everything into it. And that's what we do. We find those cars and we bring them here to the Audrain so people can come see them. And that's what we have here. And it's a rotating museum, which changes, what, every 3 months, Donald?
Every 3 months we put on a new exhibition, and the current exhibition that Jay and I are standing in right now is Land Yachts, Cruising the Interstate Highways. And the previous exhibition was one on supercars.
Right.
And then before that, there was another one on the Begovich collection. We did small cars. We've done all sorts of sports cars. We've done all things that connect with people in a very special way.
And it's not just the cars. With this Land Yacht edition we have going here, it's kind of fun because it brings back all those ads from the 50s and 60s where the people were tiny and the cars were like 2 to 3 times. You know, for the man who carries success with ease, it's the Buick Roadmaster.
The step of a man who relies on his own judgment and isn't swayed by any standard but true work. This is the man who chooses a 1956 Buick Roadmaster because he likes it best.
And the car would literally take up the whole road, and they're just fun to look at. Even if you're not a car person, you almost have to smile at the fashions, and you know, and the woman drive with the heels just touching the power brake to show how little effort it took. You know, they got the tiniest woman they could to drive the biggest cars. I mean, it's a fun exhibit.
And one of the things that this exhibition shows, as all the exhibitions that we put on here at the Audrain, is something very familiar and comfortable, and the things you've never seen before, so that you get to learn and get to experience what cars are like. You mentioned the fact the ads. I mean, that's a very important part of what it is that we do here at the Audrain. We love cars, but it's also about people and how people react to cars and how cars have affected people. We saw that in our great exhibition, Women Take the Wheel, how the automobile actually changed the lives of women. And women changed the course of the automobile.
Right. And there are also a lot of female designers. In the early days of the automobile, they let women do the interiors, which seems a little sexist. But now, I think the NSX was designed by a woman. A lot of female engineers, entrepreneurs getting into the automobile business, which makes it fun.
Another thing which just leads from what you just said, Jay, is the fact that there are people who self-identify as automotive enthusiasts. And then I like to think that there are people who haven't yet discovered that automotive connection. As I'm fond of saying, everybody's got a picture of themselves with a car.
Right.
You don't have a picture of yourself with a refrigerator, a laptop, you know. But it's discovering that magical connection is something that we also find here at the Audrain so often.
Yeah, and the fun thing is when you have something, you always want to know what came before that, what came before that. As a kid, I liked the muscle cars because they were powerful and fast. I used to feel sorry for the people who came before me because the cars seemed so slow. But then as you look back, you go, no, that was fast for its time. And the fun thing is the whole history of our hobby is really no more than 150 years old. So you can encompass the whole thing, you know. If we were Egyptologists, we'd be in hot sand, it'd be 150 degrees, we'd be digging all day, blowing off things, trying to figure out what it is. You know, that's the great thing about this hobby. If you come to the Audrain, you get to talk cars the way guys talk sports. It's really what it is.
And you also made another great point, Jay. I love the way you just set up every point I want to make because it's just that kind of special partnership that we have. The Audrain collections also cover cars from 1899 to 2022. And it's a very important mission to us to make sure that we understand and communicate the way people connect with cars. Right. It's not about cars of a certain period. As you mentioned, we've seen lots of very young people who are fascinated by the veteran cars, as we have in our now annual veteran car tour for cars older than 1907.
Right.
And we had in the supercar exhibition 2022 supercars with 1,000 horsepower. So it's all ranges of what the car experience is. And of course, we see that in a really big way here at the Audrain through our Cars and Coffee events. I know you've been to a lot of our Cars and Coffee events.
Like at my garage, I cover cars from 1898 to 2023, just a little bit more on each side than the Audrain. But I've been doing it a lot longer, you know. So as a new kid on the block, I got to say they've done a hell of a job.
Well, yeah, one of the things that I often used to say about your collecting, which I admire greatly because you are truly a collector of passion, and that there are very few collections in the world that ran from Corvairs to Duesenbergs. And now the Audrain does the same thing.
Right, exactly. So come on down and check it out. I think you'll find it fun. And even if you're not a car person, I think you'll find the fashions, the advertisements, just the whole atmosphere to be pretty interesting.
We really appreciate the people who are members of the Audrain Automobile Museum who help support this great institution in its mission to preserve, celebrate, and share automotive history. And if you're not a member, please consider becoming one because there are great member benefits. We have, of course, our Cars and Coffee events. We have seminars with great automotive figures. And, of course, you get to spend time with our friend Jay Leno when he comes to town because he always stops here at the Audrain or visits our Cars and Coffee. And, of course, you get wonderful discounts for our Audrain Newport Concours Motor Week and our retail shop and in all the things that we do to bring this museum to you and to bring it to life. So, if you're not a member, join. If you are a member, please renew. We'd love to have you back. Thanks.